We are neither nutritionists or medical providers. The topics discussed on this show are from our own research and experiences. Please consult your medical provider before attempting anything discussed on this show. Welcome to another episode of
Sjogren Strong. This is Brian.
And this is Uwe.
And this is your podcast discussing how she lives a healthy and active lifestyle despite her diagnosis of Sjogren's. I switched it up there.
Because we are one.
We are. And we do everything together.
Yeah, we do.
I'm just diagnosisless. this.
He's being a jokester today because he's happy. You guys want to know why? Because he moved to a brand new studio.
Yes, the business is in a new studio, and we're digging it so far. Just really tired. This young lady has been crushing it, and I've slowly seen her decline over the week, and I'm expecting a Saturday of slumber.
We've been working really hard on getting the studio moved, and we've been working nonstop for what, about a week? At least Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we were here from like 6, I don't know, to really late.
We put in 30 hours alone just Saturday and Sunday.
So I am tired, to say the least, and I am definitely circling the drain. And I just want to crawl into bed and fall asleep for a year.
Yeah.
And yeah, today we wanted to talk about brain fog because my brain fog is kicking.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we're going to discuss is this prolonged, heavier than normal physical labor exacerbating brain fog and making it kick.
Yeah. So hi everybody that's watching. Hi Susan Barajas. Hi everybody. So let's kick it.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about 5 things that we've discussed and deal with and try to do. Some of them we're better at than others, but these are 5 things that we've identified over the last few years and try to keep it front of mind when we're, no pun intended there, brain fog, front of mind, when we're planning our day, planning activities, just living life. So number 1 is setting reminders. You know, brain fog, things get forgotten. So having a system that you check religiously, whether it's a reminder on your cell phone or sticky notes on the refrigerator, but if it's written down somewhere and you check it and make a habit of checking it, you will be less likely to forget what needs to be done.
Definitely. I have Post-its all over the place at home, sometimes on the fridge. I do set reminders. But especially when I'm at work, I have to set a lot of calendar reminders. I take a lot of notes. I'm talking a lot of notes because like if my boss is telling me something and yeah, I got it. As he's telling me, yeah, check. But when I'm actually doing it or typing the email or, you know, what he told me to do, I'm like, man, what did he say? And I find myself, I type the email and I delete what I wrote and I retype it and no, it doesn't sound good. I'm using the wrong word. You know, it's my brain fog. It affects me like that. So I take a lot of notes, Post-it, calendar reminders, notes on my phone.
Now, when she says she takes a lot of notes, meticulously organized with her notes, binders, sheet protectors, tabs, dividers. So, but that's what she's trained herself to do. So she at least knows what binder to open and what tab to flip to get the information that she's having a hard time recalling. And that's brilliant.
Yes, because I'll be okay for a week, for a month. And then, you know, a week later or 2 months later, when I need to do the same thing again, gone. I have no idea how to do it. So, you know, keeping notes really helps.
Yeah. Or maybe a task you haven't done in 2 or 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And like, how do I do that? You know, if you don't do it regularly, it's easy to forget.
Or I've only done it a couple of times. So yeah, definitely.
You know, we referenced last week that Jeanette is on the board running the show for us tonight. And it's the same thing with her and her pushing buttons. If we don't do it daily, you know, you get a little rusty and got to practice a little bit, which is okay.
And especially right now that I'm really tired, and I pushed myself a lot. My brain fog is definitely at its peak and kicking.
It is. It is.
So
But I appreciate you.
you better. You owe me
So
big.
the next one that we want to talk about is something that I think she struggles with is setting a sleep routine
Indubitably, I struggle with that
because of TikTok
because I don't have a sleep routine.
and TikTok.
Because sometimes I'm tired and I sit down and instead of falling asleep, I'll grab my phone and I'll start, on Facebook responding to comments or TikTok. It's addicting.
Oh, and I want to throw this disclaimer out there. If you're ever unfriended by Lupe, reach out to us via email because she just might be falling asleep with her phone in her hand and friending you and or unfriending you. It's happened in the past. So don't take it wrong. It could just be a sleep thing.
So funny, but not funny because I will be responding to comments or posts or whatever, and I'm swiping my phone, right? And next thing you know, I fall asleep. I fall asleep swiping, right? Because I'm just tired and drained. And I didn't realize that I was doing this. I did realize that I was falling asleep while on the phone because I would wake up and whoa, what is that? But then people started accepting my friend requests, like on Facebook, for example. And I'm like, who is that? I never requested them. And then I realized because I caught myself a couple of times.
Yeah. And to all those TikTokers out there that have 860 views in a row. Yeah, she fell asleep watching your video.
My phone is like my Wooby. I need it in my hand, but I need to just set it down, turn it off, and just fall asleep.
And I try to have a sleep routine. She'll make fun of me because I try to go to bed at 9 o'clock because I usually get up at 4. I just wake up, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I'll fall asleep in the recliner at 7 and then I wake up at 9 and I'm wide awake for a while. It can be difficult because forcing yourself to go to bed when you're not tired, even though you make it this nice, peaceful, relaxing sanctuary, it's still sitting there tossing and turning for me anyway.
Um, Setting up a sleep routine is hard for me because I mean, if I fall asleep like in the living room right now in the recliner, and I fall asleep, and Brian used to wake me, come on, let's go to bed, and I'm like, please don't wake me because then I can't fall asleep, right? So he stopped doing that, but it's hard because my eyes just open at 4 o'clock in the morning, and usually I'm not able to fall back to sleep. So it's tough. I have to work on it. I definitely something I have to work on.
And even with the aid of melatonins and things like that, she's struggled
But
with
it doesn't
that.
matter. It doesn't matter if I fall asleep at 9, at 1, at whenever, 4 o'clock, my eyes pop. So,
But the point is here, if you have a solid sleep routine and you're getting enough rest, you're going to be able to get through the next day a little easier than not. So
definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think this next one is interesting. As tired as she is, last night I witnessed her showing people the new studio and all of that. And in the past, and I'm sure it'll happen again, sometimes in social situations, we always joke, we wish, dinner out with friends could be breakfast because you're wide awake, you're feeling good, you got all your spoons. However, in social situations, I'll find her just sitting back away from the crowd, listening, contently because of the fatigue and because of the brain fog and not wanting to put herself in a situation where she may have to have a conversation and the brain fog and, embarrassment that may come with that. And, again, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. Brain fog is legit. And when it happens, it happens. So coping with that, sitting back and being a great listener for a little while is, one way to get by.
It helps. Yeah, but it's tough because you're trying to have a conversation and mid sentence you forget what you're saying, right? Especially if you're tired, you forget what you're saying, you lose your thought. I mean, it's happened to I'm talking to Brian, and I'm like, I lost it. I don't know what I was going to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's embarrassing because I don't want to use the wrong words, the wrong tense, sound dumb, I guess, for lack of a better word. It's embarrassing sometimes. So sometimes I do isolate myself, and I do want to hide in the corner and not talk to anybody. But yesterday I pushed through for you.
You did. You did a great job.
So yeah.
She rocked it.
Hmm.
So prioritizing and scheduling, and this is something that we've actually heard Susan Barajas say. And again, thank you for listening, Susan.
Everybody.
Yes, and everybody. Sorry. But if you have heavy lifting to do, chores wise, get up and do it first thing, and or maybe not scheduled to do that if you do have a function later in the evening, or maybe if you do have a longer day, conserve some of those spoons and do the heavier lifting tasks when you can rest and relax, and you're not going to, you know, be put in a social situation or be in a situation where brain fog would, suck.
I definitely do wish that dinner was in the mornings. I wish everything was in the mornings because in the mornings I have more energy, and as the day drags on, if I get tired or push myself too much, I do get brain fog.
Yeah. So
So
prioritize and schedule. And then charting, keep a log of when you start to feel brain fog hitting and coming on. And try to identify what may trigger that. So, Lupe, I want you to talk on your triggers because I think you've dialed it down. And when you're solid, it's a whole new you.
sometimes I'm on point. I mean, for those that have been listening, or we've done a few lives, you can probably tell my energy is low right now because I am dragging. I am on negative spoons, and I my brain I was gonna say frog. My brain fog triggers are stress. When I'm stressed, my brain fog is high. But I think for me, I mean, I'm not stressed all the time, but for me lately, because we've been pushing too hard, we've been pushing really hard on getting the studio set up. We've been eating junk food a lot. Junk food. What have we been eating? In and out pizza, sugar. Those are my main triggers for me. I don't. I know it's not for everybody, but for me, I know better, and it's been junk food and sugar, and that's why I'm paying for it, and I'm tired, and I know better, and I get mad at myself, but sometimes you just have to eat out.
Yeah, it's been a rough week and a half, 2 weeks with diet. And I'm up early, I'm out early. I might grab a snack. Some days I haven't eaten anything till 2 p.m. because I'm starting to get dizzy. But, at the end of a 15, 16-hour day, the last thing I want to do is go home and cook.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to make unhealthy decisions living in America where we live today because, between here and home, I'm sure between almost everyone's here and home, there's 6, 7 fast food options.
Do you guys think this is a question for everybody, you too? It's been really hot, and I think um, I have a lot of inflammation right now. And when my fingers get inflamed and just my whole body inflammation, your brain gets inflamed too, right? That has to cause brain fog too.
And we've heard that it is a real possibility. I don't think I've read any medical information on that, but I mean, not hydrating, not replacing electrolytes when we've been working as hard as we have been, causes issues. And not eating right causes issues. And not sleeping enough or as well causes a lot of issues. And balancing all of those things can be difficult when you're, working really hard for a extended period of time.
Yeah, because why not the brain?
Susan just commented. Let's read that.
Yeah, I can't read the screen, but that's why I have my phone. She said, suggestion: people should try to have healthy leftovers in the freezer for when you can't cook. Most definitely, that's true. And
Most definitely.
better. We know better, but
I've got a cool bag of pre-mixed salad in the refrigerator.
it probably went bad already, right?
It might have, but because Just pure laziness. It's 100% on me. I've been making poor eating decisions the last few weeks just because my mind's been elsewhere, and it's caught up to me. I'm cramped in both legs today. I'm trying to work and type, and I'm under. It was painful, and I need to start replacing those electrolytes.
For lunch today, I had a healthy lunch in my lunch bag, but I also packed a little Twix, a pack of Twix, right? So when I was thinking healthy and I opened my lunch bag and I was like, oh, Twix. And I grabbed the Twix. So I need to just stop buying junk food.
Yeah. You know, we haven't had soda in the house for a while now, and it helps. Not having it as an option helps.
Yeah, but we've been eating out.
We have been.
We've been having root beer and Coke. So that hasn't helped.
Root
So.
beer. Yeah, no.
So
So,
yeah.
I mean, take us home, wrap us up here.
Do what you can. Identify your triggers for brain fog, for all your symptoms. Identify what triggers them and do everything you can to avoid them.
And you know what I wanted to say? Back, we did an episode or two on it. We challenged ourselves to go vegetarian for 30 days. And we went 3 months.
No way. It was longer. It was a long time.
And
it was a long time.
Both of us felt so good. We were consuming no processed sugars, 100% vegetables in the diet, no sodas, drinking water like crazy and juices. And we felt so good, but it's, again, I really don't want to make excuses. It's so easy to make unhealthy choices. So
yeah, I thought of something. You know how it's been really hot? Do you think that has something to do with it? But I mean, when it's hot, I get fatigued a lot.
Right.
But that has to have something to do with
sure.
it. It's just a little bit of everything. There's so many triggers.
I'm sure
It's
it
hard
does.
to identify.
I'm sure it does. And yes, Susan, I need to make leftovers. You know what? We were using the slow cooker doing chicken breast and beans and rice. And I ate so clean because you didn't make beans.
I made a whole pot. They went to waste, the entire pot. I don't know why, but it did.
I don't either.
Anyways, no here nor there.
Well, we want to thank you for listening today. We're going to recap these 5 things. Set reminders for yourself. Set a sleep routine. Sit back and listen instead of trying to engage in social conversations if you're just not feeling up to it. Prioritize and schedule your tasks. Push your heavy lifting to days that you're not going to be in social situations if your brain fog is kicking. And try to identify your triggers and rule them out. You know, if you find this is triggering, then remove that from your life and you might get through it a little easier.
Definitely. Follow us on social media.
Hit us up, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Yeah. Follow us on your favorite podcast player. If you like what we're doing, let us know. If you don't like what we're doing, let us know.
We want to know how can we make it better. If you have suggestions on episodes, we want to know. So go ahead and hit us up on social media. And until next time, sip constantly and stay hydrated.